OK, so what do you get if you cross Atomic Kitten with Westlife, ladies and gentlemen? Bryan and Kerry McFadden.
Everybody needs a good Everybody needs a good Everybody needs a good Everybody needs a good
The last time you were on was 10 days before your wedding.
Was it?
It was, yeah. So it was all right, the wedding, wasn't it?
No.
Well, you were 45 minutes late, I read.
No, it wasn't me. It was my bridesmaids. I was ready. I'm always on time, mate. But it was my bridesmaids. They were late. They were all a bit drunk.
I remember the day of the wedding, I always said to myself, I'll be fine. Going up to the wedding, the whole build-up, no nerves at all. And it was just because she was late, and I wasn't worried about her not coming, because that would have been easier. But when I was standing there...
I never worry about them not coming, do you? I think if they don't do it, they have to make their own arrangement. I'm already phoning a taxi.
You know, actually, the most horrible thing is worrying about having to make the speech and say, by the way, the bitch isn't coming, so, you know, but can we keep the presents?
Hello. You do know that I am here.
No, I'm talking hypothetically. You know.
Oh, yeah.
Can I talk?
But
can
you
I talk
must have been. Was there ever a moment, Bryan, honestly, was there ever a moment when you thought she's not coming?
I had a dream the night before. And funny enough, I woke up with a smile, but no, I didn't. I knew she'd come because I'm minted, so...
Oh, yeah, they always turn up for the money.
It sums it up about right.
Is it true that when you first met, it was one of those love at first sight things?
No.
No, it was.
He said yes.
It was.
No, it was for him.
Look at them. Who wouldn't fall in love when you've got, you know, Mount Etna walking in front of you?
Are you sure you've got the word love rightly?
In fairness, like, a lot of my two girlfriends before Kerry, they kind of looked like young boys. Not in a Gary Glitter kind of way, but in a strange way. So when I seen them, it was like, it's Christmas. So I fell in love straight away.
Yes.
And then she talked, and I fell even more in love. It was great.
But you've covered him up tonight, and I respect you for that.
Yeah, well,
in case there's anyone watching and thinking, what's he talking about, breasts? We've got a clip of you on Britain's Sexiest.
Oh, no, I hate this.
This really clears up any doubts.
And remember, all costs cost 25p. Now, this show isn't just about beefcake. Let's meet the first female contestant. She's from Essex, and it's Michaela.
It doesn't look like Right Said Fred under a quilt.
Did you really take friends with you on honeymoon?
We went to South Africa for 4 days on our own. You're tipsy, you are. We went to South Africa.
Oh, you're like a human breathalyzer, you are.
And we went for 4 days and we were just so bored. And we went
on honeymoon?
No, we weren't bored.
We weren't bored.
No,
we was on a safari, and the thing is that we can enjoy this kind of luxury that we go on these places, and we was like, wow, this is amazing. I wish somebody who wasn't in such a fortunate position as us could be here to enjoy it.
Unfortunate.
Shut up, I'm talking.
So you took homeless people out on safari?
Yeah, pretty much.
I did leave a message on your phone, Frank, but you never got back.
On safari? So you found...
But no, listen to me. Stop interrupting me.
I'm sorry.
You two. Just because you know each other, I'm new. So anyway...
Yeah, I can see you being really oppressed by us.
And it was like, you know, I'd love to bring somebody away with us to enjoy the things we could. So then we went to Mauritius for another 10 days. So we thought, you know what, we'll phone a couple of friends, and we brought a couple out of friends of ours, and they really enjoyed it. So that was all I had to say, really.
But it's quite unusual, friends on the honeymoon.
Well, we had such a good time, didn't we? And they got to enjoy everything that we experienced as well, because you always...
You're so generous, you two.
There's plenty to go around in fairness.
Oh, I want to go home.
So, you have children? 2 now. Is it right, that thing... You know that thing they say that when it happens, that all your priorities change and...
Yeah, definitely.
Because you did quite a very rare thing. You actually walked away from a pop career.
I'm absolutely devastated.
But they do, because most people, their pop career ends because people just get fed up with them.
No, well, I kind of got fed up with the whole pop career thing. Well, no, I didn't. I got offered a job on SMTV. and we wasn't doing so well at the time, and I was tired of the travelling, and I got really ill and I had a nervous breakdown. And so I thought, well, if this is what it's going to do to you, then it's not right. So I thought I'll go for something a bit more steady. So I got offered this job, you know, before anybody knew that Anton Depp was leaving.
Oh, that was a bun.
No, at this time I didn't know. Well, then I left.
You left Atomic Kitten?
I left
obviously,
Atomic Kitten, yeah, and then I got offered this job, and then I got pregnant, so they didn't want me because it wasn't going to look really good, me being pregnant on a kids' TV show with one of their pop idols.
And
hey,
then-
kids, go out and do this.
But that's the best. They have gay men presenting it.
Yeah.
It's like, why can't you have a pregnant woman but you can have gay men?
Well, they know there's no danger they're going to get pregnant. We got a picture of you when you were a kitten. I think at Madame Tussauds, actually.
No.
Is that the real Tom
Yes,
Jones?
Tom Jones.
Well, he seems to be what the French call orange. So you left Atomic Kitten to present SMTV, and then SMTV didn't happen, and Atomic Kitten had got someone else, and you were trapped in the no man's
With
land.
him, in the middle of Ireland and nowhere.
Oh, that was...
No, I'm only joking.
That's
I
a
love him to
terrible
bits.
trick of fate, though.
No, you know what? At the end of the day, I got two beautiful girls, and I wouldn't change that for the world. I wouldn't want to do the whole... what's her name? Victoria Beckham.
Oh,
what
yeah.
Victoria Beckham and David do. I mean, reading it in the paper, it's like, no. My priority is my family.
Yeah.
I won't let anything destroy
But there is
that.
one of the kittens has got a baby, isn't she?
Yeah, and she's not with her fella anymore.
Right.
I'm not saying that's what it was, but I think a family belong together.
Now, one thing that was in the papers, which was, I guess, a difficult thing for you guys, is that there was a kind of a lap dancer woman who said... Basically, I know for legal reasons, we can't discuss this in any detail, but something happened between you and a lap dancer. How did you cope with that, Kerry?
Oh, God. You see, it gets... I don't want to do Marlene classes today because it's so overwhelming when you're discussing that kind of crap, so...
Listen, it happens to so many people in the world, but for some reason, I made a mistake 2 years ago, and unfortunately, me and Kerry and our two children are still suffering 2 years later. And
At the end of
every
the
day
day,
I get
I
asked
don't
about
Kerry
it.
writes a story. I'm not going to let nobody destroy what I've got with Bryan.
No, we're perfectly happy with two children. We're closer than we've ever been, but people still keep bringing up the past 2 years later, and we're like, we're over it. Can you not just get over it?
Good. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad that you are over it. I asked because I thought people will say, oh, you never asked about the lap
Totally,
dancer.
no, that's understandable.
And in fairness, I mean, hello. Why is he going to go out for, like, burgers when he's got steak at home?
Yeah. Now, Kerry, you're a columnist now.
Yeah.
In...
I don't actually write it.
Do you not write it?
No.
I thought you were a Catholic.
What's that magazine called? Hot Stars?
Hot
is it?
Stars, yeah, in OK Magazine.
So, do you have to OK what's in it?
Well, they phone me up and they say, you know, this week, this has been in the papers, you know, what's your opinion about it? And I tell them what I think. But then I got it this week, and at the beginning of Hot Stars, they've got, like, you know, letters that people have wrote in. And there's this one girl from Germany who says, I love Hot Stars. I buy it every week, despite the fact I'm from Germany, but I can't stand that Kerry McFadden. And all she ever does is slag off everybody and, you know, talks about her own family. And when I read it, I actually do. But I don't mean it. But it keeps me in that job.
Can I give you a couple of examples?
Oh.
Because you do really go for it. Christina Aguilera.
Oh, she needs a scrub.
That's what you said. You also said she just looks like a dirty old knacker.
Where's Kelly? She'll back me up.
Darren Day's fling with Susan Shaw doesn't shock me at all. He can't keep his hands off anybody.
Well, am I wrong?
My favourite is this, though. I do think there's a danger when stars work together. I mean, Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman's movie Eyes Wide Shut was crap. But Bryan and I did This Morning together and it was fine. It's a great comparison.
Did I say me right? No, I don't think I did.
I can show it you in black and white. You should at least read it if you can't write it.
I did. I don't want to... Yeah, OK.
So you're going to do a bit of stage acting.
Yeah, vagina monologues.
So where's that at?
It's in Manchester, 24th of November for a week.
So is that going to be a beginning of... Would you like to be an actress full-time?
I would love to get into acting, but, you know, you watch all these soaps and everything now, and it's always, you know, you come in with a love interest, but I wouldn't be allowed to do that.
What? So if you were in a movie and maybe had to do a bit of a sex scene, even if it was a big...
Hang on, snog I wouldn't be allowed to do.
Yeah?
You know what, Frank?
No, he's big. No, Bryan.
No, what do you say about that?
And there was tongue in that.
I can't wait to do the Rain Kelly.
Well, it's really nice talking to you. And long may your love continue. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Bryan and Kerry McFadden. OK, so next week's show is on Friday night at 10 p.m. Not Monday, Friday night. It's on Friday next week. You have to tell them. You know, Bryan, you really remind me of somebody.
Mountain in Virginia stands a lonesome pine. Just below is the cabin home of a little girl of mine. In the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia, on the trail of the lonesome pine, in the pale moonshine, our hearts entwined, where she carved a name and I carved mine. Oh, June, like the mountains I'm blue, like the pine, I am lonesome for you. In the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia, on the trail of the lonesome pine.
In the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia, on the trail of the lonesome pine. In the pale moonshine, our hearts entwine, where she carved a name and I carved mine. Oh, June, like the mountains are blue, like the pine, I am lonesome for you.
In the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia, on the trail of the lonesome pine.
Never coming on air again.